Alright, so there is a good chance that you know why you're doing No Nut November, but you might not know why or how you should continue that process into Nofap. Now, of course, No Nut November and Nofap are pretty much the same exact thing, but one is pretty much just something that you do during the month because everybody in the world and on Reddit is pretty much doing it. And then the other one is just pretty much a lifestyle. Now, you may have chosen the path of many where you're embarking, right, on this whole Nofap journey throughout the entirety of November. But whenever December hits, all of a sudden your urges are coming back and like absolutely like through the floodgates, right? And you give in. And then all of a sudden you start that process over and over again until, you know, next November comes and then you're just, oh wow, okay, well let's do this again. You want to continue the process and be able to push yourself forward into the months and years ahead, and you have to have a why attached to that. Now, this why could be attached to you just want to cut the addiction because it is an addiction you've had for a long time. Okay, now for me at least, it's because I'm in a relationship. So it's a kind of a respect thing, right? I want to respect my girlfriend by not watching porn. So that is my why, and that's the reason why I took Nofap so seriously after a long period of time, because there was just so much guilt on myself, and my subconscious was pretty much just eating me alive. And because it was, I know that I needed to take it seriously, and that's whenever I really just, you know, went all in on Nofap and just, you know, cut out porn completely. And your why might be very, very similar, and maybe you don't have a girlfriend yet, maybe you do, okay? But let's just say that for this instance, right, you're doing it because of the girl of your dreams, okay? You're doing this because you want her to look at you as a man who can control his urges and have control over his thoughts and, you know, not give in to such easy, small little actions. Like, for example, let's just say you're like scrolling on Instagram, right? And all of a sudden some thick booty or some boobies show up on your phone and you're weak-minded and then you just start fapping off. And that is the process. That's what happens. You don't have control over your brain. You don't have control over your actions and your urges. And then whenever you think about the way that your dream girlfriend will think about you in that moment, it's going to make you feel pretty embarrassed. And in this moment, it might not actually be embarrassing as a thought, right? It might be like, oh, well, you know, I'll never get a girlfriend anyway, so like, why does it matter? Well, you're still kind of the monkey in the corner with a phone fapping off. And I mean, that's literally how I was. Like, I was the dude who did that too. Whenever I thought about it in like that stupid, simple term, that simple way, I was like, it's kind of stupid and it looks gross and it's weird and it doesn't make me feel any better. Yes, of course, it's great pleasure for the moment, right? It's short-term gratification, but it is not helping my long run and the way that I thought that was a deer for a second, but it's not helping me in my long-term vision. It's not how I want to picture myself. It's not how I want other females to picture me. Like, you don't want to be that guy who, like, the conversation comes up and they talk about like, oh, who watches porn, you know? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, me, I do every night, you know? Like, dude, like, that's embarrassing. That's not the guy who's probably gonna get laid tonight. That's how it is, okay? And unfortunately, that's the way that I was back then, you know, and that's the reason why I don't want you to end up like that. And that's why you can take No Nut November and the power that, you know, all of these other guys are just coming together, not in a sus way, right? But coming together in a way that we're all participating in No Nut November. Of course, some of us may have already failed, right? And some of us have succeeded and we're doing great, okay? Maybe you're doing great, maybe you have failed. It's okay regardless, because the power of No Nut November, everybody coming together and really staying strong for one another and really pushing each other. You know, I'm trying to make videos for you guys so that you can learn some different ways to like fight it off and stuff like that, your urges, and be able to really just stand up and be able to do Nofap, you know, in the long run, and be able to do this from November to December to January to February and so on. So to summarize what I'm explaining here is you have to take No Nut November seriously to the point in which you're doing nofap, okay? Yes, maybe like December 1st you want to fap off and stare at a rock, that's fine, okay? But don't get on your phone and start scrolling through dirty photos and stuff like that. Don't be looking for any of that, okay? Just fap off the rocks, leave it at that. And then once you've kind of committed yourself to nofap and being able to push away the hub, then you can start focusing on your why, okay? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for yourself? Are you ready to get rid of this addiction? Are you doing it for your future girlfriend? Are you doing it for your current girlfriend? Are you doing this because it makes you feel depressed and you never feel good after you do it? Whatever your reason is, you have to find that why. And then after you find your why, you can pretty much start this journey where you're going, you know, up and down with nofap. And that's going to be how it is, okay? And it's going to be a process that's going to take a very, very long time. But it can also take a short amount of time if you're really committed and you really stay strong. And pushing yourself, especially through this November, can prove to yourself that you can do it for the rest of the year and then into the next year. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you did find it helpful, then be sure to comment where you're at with nofap and just No Nut November in general. I would love to hear how you guys are doing. And if you're wondering, yes, I have not watched porn. I'm doing good too, okay? And finally, before it gets too dark out, take the subscribe button's phone and then open it up so that, you know, you have the password and then just start clicking on it, okay? Just click on it for maybe like an hour or so. Try to lock it as far as you can so that the subscribe button also can't watch porn tonight. Alright, so I really do actually hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys wanted to watch this next video, this is about how I killed my urges, okay? This is like the #1 urge killer, okay? So watch this video to learn how to kill your urges so that you can succeed this No Nut November, okay? And then you can carry this on to the rest of the year and you will be golden, okay? So become a golden boy, check out this video, join the nofap group, and I will see you guys once you find the fire within you, and stay Diablo. Dude, I almost forgot my own outro.